And for more now, let's welcome in Hall of Famer Dick Vitale. Dick, you've had about 20 minutes to digest the 68-team field. What stands out to you?
Well, you know, what stands out, first of all, we always have to go to Kevin Heartbreak Hotel, and obviously it's Heartbreak Hotel for the kids at Drexel. You win 19 games in a row. You win 25 out of 27. I think you belong part of the tournament. You win your league. Colonial's a very good league. However, the committee has done, I think, a really outstanding job. I mean, you can make a case if you want to look at RPIs, schedule strengths, but I think sometimes you got to take the eye test. And when you take the eye test and basketball judgments utilized, I think that Drexel should have been part of the field. The question then is, who should have been not in the field? And that's a real tough call. But I also feel Washington. I look at Cal. I know Cal beat Washington at Washington. But Washington, when you look at the long term, they won the Pac-12. They won 14 games, lost 4. I would have taken Washington over Cal, even though they had that one slip where they lost to Cal. Because number 2, I seen them against Marquette. They lost a heartbreaker at Madison Square Garden. Those kids can play down there at Washington. And they lost a tough game in New York also to Duke. So they reached out to play some people. So I would think those would be a little bit, but not really much to complain about, because I think the committee really did a very fair job, an honest job, and did a job that I think has put together a field that's really the Goliaths I think are going to prevail. I think this tough group, tougher than it was been in the past, I think the tough teams on top will be tough to beat.
Again, Dick, you've had about 20 minutes to look at the bracket. Is there 1, 2 first-round matchups that stand out to you?
Well, you know, I think about possibly a second-round game or third, whatever you want to define it, the way now they set up with the early round games. But I would simply say, might have Connecticut and Kentucky. I mean, Connecticut is a very dangerous team. When you think about it, Kevin, they got 2 lottery players in Drummond and Lamb. You think about that team with Napier, Oriaki, a little chip on their shoulder, played well at the end of the year, even though they lost that heartbreaker to Syracuse. If I'm Kentucky, I'm a little leery of that. In the second round, that could be a very tough matchup. A coach that really understands how to win in a one-and-done, that's another scenario you have to analyze. Certain coaches have that ability to motivate and get their players to understand the significance of a one-and-out.
Could be the defending national champions against the #1 overall seed in the tournament. Finally, Dick, we're 22 days away from the national championship game in New Orleans. Who cuts down the nets?
Well, I think when it's all said and done, I think the suffocating defense of Kentucky, I think they prevail. I think that John Calipari utilizes as motivation the fact that they got beat today in the tournament. I think he'll use that as a positive, in that he'll get the attention of his players to understand you're vulnerable, that you better play with urgency and you better play with purpose, or you can get beat. So I look for the Big Blue Nation to celebrate, and that Mr. Calipari joins the likes of Adolph Rupp. He joins the likes of people like Joe B. Hall, Rick Pitino, and Tubby Smith, and hangs another banner in Lexington.